Welcome to the Anxiety-Ridden Moms Club, the podcast where two moms, each with her own unique style, come together to navigate the wild ride of motherhood, careers, and anxiety. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Gina. There was a time when Kylie and I were direct competitors in corporate America and had different perspectives on growing our careers while managing life and all the things that come with it. But those differences have only made our friendship and our insights richer.
I like to call it trauma bonded, Gina. What started out as a difference of opinions evolved into a genuine connection. Our journey from varied viewpoints to a supportive friendship has taught us that every approach has its own strength.
Now, as co-hosts and best friends, we blend generations of wisdom with fresh, modern ideas to explore the challenges, joys, and yes, even the anxieties of being career moms.
So whether you're a seasoned pro or just stepping into the wild world of parenting, a new career, or new relationships, join us as we share stories, offer advice, and sometimes even overthink it all together.
Grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee and settle in. Welcome to the Anxiety-Ridden Moms Club.
Welcome back to the Anxiety-Ridden Moms Club. And guess what? We've officially made it to the end of season 1.
Can you believe it? Our little podcast baby survived its first season. Honestly, when we hit record that first time, I don't think either of us thought we'd make it this far without, quitting.
Or without our kids barging in, or the dogs barking, or us just laughing so hard we couldn't even finish an episode.
True story. And a lot of times we try to give you guys a little taste of it once in a while. We drop those bloopers for you.
Exactly. This season really was a journey through motherhood, right? We started at the very beginning, pregnancy. Oh my gosh, the cravings, the hormones, the body changes nobody warns you about.
And then the unsolicited advice. Everyone suddenly becomes an expert on your uterus.
Yes, I still think about that. Like, ma'am, the ankles are swollen. We all know. No need for a daily update.
Then we moved into babies and toddlers, the sleepless nights, the endless laundry, and just questioning every single decision. Am I doing this right?
And let's not forget the toddlers, the negotiating, the meltdowns. Oh, the meltdowns. So many meltdowns. I swear half of season 1 could have been titled The Toddler Diaries.
Facts. Then we tackled school years, from the first day of kindergarten tears to the homework battles and the playground drama. And somewhere in there, the infamous Target parking lot spiral.
Oh, yes, a true ARMC classic moment.
Then came preteens and teens, attitudes, independence, TikTok drama, and just learning to let go.
And finally, we even talked about what's ahead, adult children, letting go, but still worrying. Because let's be real, once you're a mom, you're always a mom. But the best part of season 1, hands down, our village, all of you.
Yes, your confessions, your messages, your comments, they made us laugh, cry, and feel so much less alone.
This podcast isn't just us talking. It's all of us together, building this anxious mom village.
So, Kylie, what is one thing you've learned about yourself this season?
What's one thing I've learned about myself this season? I feel like I've learned a lot about myself this season, or at least recognized where I need to be better or improve. And with school just starting back up, I've been very, very, very cognizant of the kids and their emotions and where they're at. And, every morning on our way to school, we say morning prayers and we talk about, I don't know, there have been a couple mornings where it's like, what's your favorite part of yesterday? Or what do you want to happen today? And just recapping and definitely being more in tune with what they've got going on at school, for sure. Last night we even had some tears and just some middle school girl stuff. And I feel like probably in the past I would have missed that, or I would have been, getting home from work at 6:00 at night and then cooking dinner and then I would have missed it entirely. So for me, it's just been eye-opening. I need to slow down and I need to communicate with the two most important things in my life. And that's Wyatt and Nora. So
I love that. I love that. For me, it's been realizing how much laughter helps. I don't know if you've noticed, but through the entire season, I know as I ever even pay attention and listen back, I laugh a lot. But I think it even helps us to get through all the hardest part of being a mom. Finding a way to laugh and doing that through this podcast, I think has actually been really good for me. So I've enjoyed it because it's a good reminder. Some of the stages, obviously, I'm past and I've gone through several times over already, but it was a good reminder of things that we went through. And that even sometimes I had days where I probably was stressed out or, you know, having just my moments, but to look back and laugh on it even helped me some more, just enjoying those memories.
For sure. So my mom and I were out shopping this weekend and somebody laughed and she goes, that sounded like Gina's laugh, which is just cool because people are getting to know you and your laugh. And it's awesome. So I've got a flip question for you. Like, what would you tell yourself before we recorded that first episode?
If I could go back to before we got this thing started, I think I would have told myself to definitely don't overthink it. Don't make sure I just am authentically myself. Sometimes, I think in anything, you always feel like you should, say all the good stuff. You know what I mean? And even the laughing, that is me. I'd probably laugh at things I shouldn't even laugh at. So I just think that, and sometimes I would overthink that, like, was that maybe too much? Did I not do something right? And I think that it's really just to come back and say, everything's okay and just be me.
Yep. Authenticity over perfection. That's been a big takeaway of mine as well. Should we tell them about the time we had to stop recording because my cat literally jumped on the back of your chair and almost attacked your face?
And I had to ask, is it the nice cat or the not nice cat that's on my lap?
They're both nice. One's just a little bit more temperamental than the other.
Whatever. Or the time we lost 10 minutes of audio because neither of us even knew that we didn't hit record.
Hey, but that only happened once. Like now it's like, who hit record? Somebody hit record. Classic ARMC. It's a miracle we even have episodes to share. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And honestly, the chaos behind the scenes is what makes us feel so authentic. We're not polished, perfect podcasters. We're just two anxious moms trying to figure it out. And I think that is just true to being, I feel like it through this entire thing. I hope that we've shown everyone that it really is about just moms getting together and talking about stuff that goes on and not feeling left out.
For sure. That we are here and we want to grow this village and we want to help as many people as possible. And it's therapeutic for us as well.
Right.
So looking back, we know, as we talk about things we've learned and things we've done, there have been episodes where we've put out our, what are they called? We've put out
episodes?
Teasers.
Oh, teasers.
We've put out teasers.
Bloopers.
We've been like, bloopers and teasers, but we've been like, tune in for this. And then we forget to maybe talk about it. So, shout out to one of my longest running friends is currently pregnant. And she happens to be a redhead. And she reached out and she's like, so I would love to know about those, how redheaded pregnancies are different and the different things that redheads will experience through pregnancy than others.
Different.
And Gina and I, we sat here and we laughed because we're like, oh my God, we didn't even talk about that. We teased it. You had to wait for a very, very long time. So circling back, closing that gap, tell us about the differences redheads experience through pregnancy.
Redheads in general, I think ultimately experience different things. We're just kind of made a little different. So then I think it can definitely affect pregnancies, surgeries, all sorts of things. So in pregnancy, because we all tend to be fair-skinned, obviously, like I talked about when we were talking about breastfeeding, you're definitely more apt
I've
to
never
not
really
be
seen
happy.
a super tan redhead. You are correct.
So ultimately, you're definitely going to be more prone to cracking, bleeding, being more sore. We're much more sensitive in general. Our skin and stuff like that is just much more sensitive. So it makes it a lot more difficult. So you better get your shields ready if you're going to breastfeed. have some good cream that you're going to put on there, stuff like that. There's a couple other things that come along with it. And I think one of the reasons we really didn't kind of touch on it is because there's some things it's just not so much about pregnancy as much as it's just about us being different. So, like if you have to have anesthesia as a redhead, you need more. It's very common that especially, it's even been told to me that like even when I become old, white and gray hair, that I need to make sure they always do know I'm a redhead if I go in for surgery because
They say
otherwise
that
they
about
won't give you enough.
they say that about drug addicts too. Are you sure it's the red hair? No, I'm kidding.
So, that's one thing. Another thing is our hair is stronger than everybody else's. So I don't know if any of you redheads out there notice that when you vacuum your carpet, you're kind of like everything stays on the roller of the vacuum way worse than anybody else. And so I have to weekly, I vacuum literally like, well, my husband's now doing it right now, but weekly we vacuum and you have to literally cut off all of the hair on there between my daughter and I because it just winds up, it never breaks. So our hair is stronger, which makes it a pain because we don't have that hair that's breaking apart and going into the bag like it's supposed to. Let me think of something else. Oh, we are definitely much more apt to hemorrhage when you have surgeries or things like that because we tend to have blood that is thinner. And so it happens that honestly when you have surgeries and things like I've always wondered why I bruise so much easier and stuff like that. And that's why. So you have to be much more conscious of that. So I would even suggest that after pregnancy, be conscious just to be a little more, careful. Don't start running around thinking that you're able to do things as quickly just for the pure fact that you're just more prone to have additional issues. I've had stuff done before. I even had one doctor, I had something removed on my skin and I told him, I'm like, okay, you told me this would feel better after you removed it. Now I hate it. It feels worse. And he's like, oh my God, what are you going to show me? He said, you're a redhead. It's only a redhead who's going to throw a wrench in whatever it is that I'm dealing with.
That's funny.
So we just have our own little unique things, makes us special.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So another thing that I feel like we kind of maybe left out or should have talked about when we were talking about babies and infants or even pregnancy are dads
Yeah.
and how dad anxiety is real, very
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think it's very real. I think that a lot of dads don't, like I have, I actually have 2 grandchildren coming about soon. And one is a first time dad. And he's very nervous even about going into delivery room because what's it going to be like? And is he going to pass out during it? I think that dads have a lot of fears too of what's the night's going to look like. And just, are they going to be a good enough dad? And I think that sometimes we put so much focus on the women through it, which don't get wrong. In a lot of ways, we definitely should. But I think the guys get kind of forgotten about. And I think that that they probably even need to have discussions about postpartum depression and how they are not prepared for if their wife was to have even any of those things and what's maybe some signs that they can watch so they can be helpful. And no, dads do get kind of forgot about, don't they?
They do, but we do the heavy lifting. Let's be honest.
But
But
that doesn't
yes,
reduce their fears. They have just
that's
as many
true.
fears as we do,
That's true.
you know?
Which all circles back to one of the main topics that we covered this entire season, and that's just communication with your spouse, with your significant other, with your kids, with your parents. It's just open communication is really, it sounds like, the secret sauce to
Yes.
a happy life, a
Oh, yeah.
happy, productive life.
Yes. Happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah, there you go. If there was anything else that you guys want to hear, we missed, we didn't cover, like, reach out to us, whether that's via social media, slide into our DMs, if it's an email, whatever it may be, send us a text. Let us know if there's something that you would love or want us to cover from, the pregnancy to the adult children that we didn't cover. We're not never going to talk about these topics again.
Right.
We're just
Right.
moving on to some bigger conversations.
And we'll always have our Sunday night confessions. And that's a great time too, that if you send something in that we missed or you want to talk about at any point in time, it's a great time for us to even bring that out is on those Sunday night confession
Yes, and
discussions.
we love the episode ideas too. It helps us when we're building and looking for content.
Yes, definitely. Trying to help to make sure that we bring you guys what you're looking for, what you want to hear.
So back to kind of a Q&A over season 1. What would you say for you would be the most embarrassing or controversial moment?
Mm. Well, not embarrassing for me.
I was going to say, I have an answer to your question if it doesn't pop into your head.
Not embarrassing to me, but probably when I talked about my son might maybe be a little bit embarrassing since I got a call after he listened to the episode. Balloons, condoms, what's the difference?
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't tell.
Right.
So for me, it would probably be last Sunday when I was eating breakfast after church and my co-host texts me and says, "Oh my gosh, did you realize that we left the last blooper in of our last episode?" So our last episode, we will just address it here and now, was a train wreck in my opinion from a technical side of things. So we've talked about it over and over again, but Gina and I actually live about an hour and 15 minutes apart. And so we have been meeting up and doing these podcasts in person. And I personally love it because just the interaction, I feel like it flows a lot better. But an hour and 15 minutes, we both work full time, both have kids, life. So we're also working on being able to record separately.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. It was a huge fail. And, when we record together, there's one line, there's one feed that gets uploaded to the internet. And when you do it separately, there are two feeds and they came together and when the audio came together, we were talking over each other and the quality wasn't there. And we ended up actually recording the episode multiple times. And so this last time, we're like, we just have to go with it. Like, we're out of time. We don't want to, we would rather, we want to give you guys an episode. So we didn't want to skip a week. And we were editing it literally like 10 seconds before it was supposed to drop. And we left an epic size blooper that, it was me, obviously, of course. A huge episode or a huge blooper at the end of the last episode.
Yeah. And yet the people who had listened never even said a word, like in our families or never said, "Hey, did you guys notice that?"
Did you mean that she was nasty at the end of that episode? And I did. I questioned every single one of you that knows us personally, that has listened to this podcast, that didn't reach out and be like, "Did you really mean to put that in?" But on the technology piece, if we were to take it down and edit it, we would lose the amount of downloads we have for that episode. So we decided to keep it. So if you haven't listened to the episode, make sure you tune in and shoot me a text, email, or a private message when you hear the blooper. Because
Right.
if you know me, it's something that I shouldn't say, but I do frequently. So, and it's there and we left it and it is so freaking embarrassing. So I apologize. I apologize for the quality of last week's episode, and I apologize for my inappropriate behavior at the end of last episode. So,
but I guess in some ways you just gotta remember it's all about being authentic,
and that is my most
Authentically us.
authentic. That is my most authentic self. That's for sure. Man, this has been a learning journey, I guess. And we're really only, our first episode was June 25th, so we're really only 2 months in, and it seems like 28 years.
It does.
28 years.
It really does.
But in those 2 months, I can't even hardly say that because it sounds like so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But in those 2 months, we really have grown
Mm-hmm.
a village. We currently, through all social media platforms, we have 1,300 followers.
We have 800 plus downloads.
And we've been heard in 11 countries.
And 95 cities.
11 countries and 95 cities. That is absolutely incredible, insane. We love you guys. We love the support. We hope you stick with us.
Yes, yes, because we hope to just keep getting better, better. And hopefully we can get to where we once in a while do them separate and the quality will be better.
Yes.
But for the most part, I'm like you. I like getting together because I don't know, it's enjoyable when you can do it together, be face to face. I think it is great. But lives do happen and we never want to miss a week and want to make sure we give you guys what you're interested in.
And again, we've talked about it in earlier episodes. Our goal is just to build a village, to build friendships and a place for people to come and feel comfortable being their most authentic self. And we will be your number one supporters. So
Right.
we hope that you continue to support us. We hope that you love what we're doing, and we hope you're along for the ride.
Right.
So what's next? Season 2, baby.
And this one is already in the works. We are diving into relationships, all kinds of them. The relationships you have with yourself, with your significant other, with your friends, with your kids, and honestly, relationships in general.
Because let's be real, relationships can be some of the most beautiful, complicated, anxiety-ridden parts of life. And we're going there.
We'll have more confessions, deeper conversations, and maybe even a few guests to bring in fresh perspectives. It's going to be real, it's going to be raw, and it's going to be relatable.
And of course, don't forget, the ARMC merch is live. If you want to carry a little piece of the village with you, check out the shop. We've got tees, hats, and some fun extras that scream anxious but thriving-ish. From pregnancies and babies all the way up to adult children. We've covered the whole journey in season 1. And honestly, that was just the foundation.
Now we're stepping into the next chapter. Season 2 is going to be all about relationships. Because if motherhood has taught us anything, is that relationships shape everything.
We're so grateful, again, to every single one of you who listened, shared, sent in confessions, and helped us grow this little village.
So we are looking forward to season 2, packed with more laughter, more honesty, and of course, more confessions.
Until then, remember, we're all in this together, anxious, but thriving-ish.
If no one's told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You're not failing, you're growing. You're not broken, you're becoming. And you're doing better than you think.
Thanks for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another mom who might need to hear this. You can also connect with us on Facebook or TikTok at the ARMC. We'd love to hear your story.
Until next time, give yourself grace, breathe deep, and remember, peace is possible.